It is always a good idea to make a copy of all your disks containing software programs and using them instead of the originals. We will use the Diskcopy command to make these copies. The Diskcopy command is a little different than the copy command because it will make an exact copy of everything from one floppy disk to another floppy disk, including the format. In other words, if you use the Diskcopy command, you don't have to format a new diskette before you copy files to it. Diskcopy will not work for copying files to or from the hard disk. Its purpose is to make exact copies of floppy disks. Lisa, in the View menu, select the Program File List. Then go to the main window and select Disk Utilities. Now select Diskcopy, and a dialog box opens asking you to enter the source and the destination drives. The default is A to B. Simply change your B colon to A colon if your disk drives aren't the same type and click OK. Notice DOS drops you out of the shell. You are now prompted to insert the source disk in drive A. We're going to copy our disk in drive A, and it's already there. If you wanted to copy a different disk, you would put that disk in drive A. Press any key and DOS reads the data on that disk and prompts you to put the destination disk in the appropriate drive. Let's use the new disk we have not formatted now. Remember, Diskcopy copies the format along with the files. Also remember, if you have any data on your destination disk, it will be erased. Everyone press Enter when ready. You may be asked to switch disk a few times, copying from and to your A drive. After a short time, we see a prompt asking you if you want to copy another disk. Press N for no, and press any key to return to the shell so we can move on to deleting files. The delete command is another important DOS command. This is the command to make a file or files vanish from the disk. Perhaps you need to remove old documents you no longer need. With the disk we just did Diskcopy to in drive A, select any files on top of command.com. Now select the File menu and then the option Delete. A dialog box appears displaying the first file we want deleted and asks if we want to delete this file. Answer yes, and it's gone. Here's an even faster way to delete files. Select all the files under command.com and simply press the delete key. Click on OK and answer yes to delete all the files. Be very careful with the delete command. It's possible to lose files you really wanted to keep. DOS 6.0 has an undelete command, but we won't be covering it in this lesson. Here's a trick you should know about. Sooner or later your computer will get stuck or freeze up, and you won't be able to get it to do anything. There are many ways that this can happen. If you get stuck and cannot get your computer going again, rather than turning it off and starting over, you can warm boot the computer. A warm boot recycles the machine much like turning it off and then on, but much faster. To warm boot your computer, hit the Control, Alt, and Delete keys at the same time. You will lose data that wasn't saved to disk if you are in the middle of a program, but if you are really stuck, it's about all you can do to get started again. If by some chance the machine still won't start, you can try using the disk we now have in drive A. What we have left on this disk are the bare bones files needed to boot your computer, command.com, and the hidden system files. If you have this problem, putting this disk in drive A and pressing Control, Alt, Delete at the same time should get your computer started so you can figure out what went wrong. So take this disk out and label it DOS Vanilla Boot and keep it in a safe place. Warning, never use an older version of DOS with DOS 6.0 to boot your computer. You could damage the information on your hard disk if you do. Lisa, I want to show you one way of starting a program through the shell. Select the C drive. Choose our WP51 directory in the tree area. Then activate the Files area. Every program has a startup or execution file, usually marked with the program name and an EXE or COM extension. When you find this file, simply double-click on it and the program will start. If you have a program made to run with the Windows program, it will not start from the DOS shell. Okay, everyone, if you opened a program, be sure to exit it properly and return to the shell. It is very important to always exit any programs or shells, such as Windows, before you turn your computer off. Lisa, choose the DOS shell's file menu and select Exit. Well, I should mention that everything that can be done in the shell can also be done from the command line, and there are several more commands that can only be done from the command line, one of which is MemMaker, DOS 6.0's answer to the problems of memory optimization. If your computer has a 386 or higher processor, you can use this command to increase the efficiency of your computer's memory usage. Our computer is a 486, Lisa, so let's run MemMaker. First, cd back to the root directory, then type MemMaker. That's with 2 M's, and press Enter. MemMaker's title screen appears, providing you with information concerning its operation. Towards the bottom of the screen, you are asked if you want to continue or exit out of the program. Pressing the space bar will toggle you through the options that appear in this screen and those that follow. Once you make a selection, press Enter to accept it. Lisa, press Enter. On the next screen, you have an option of having MemMaker perform an express or custom installation. Unless you are comfortable working with memory management routines, we suggest you choose Express Setup and press Enter. The following screen asks if you will be using expanded memory, and unless you are absolutely sure you'll never use software such as Lotus 123 or most database packages that use expanded memory, press Enter to accept Yes to this question. Once you reach this screen, you have no other choice but to continue with MemMaker. But before you press Enter, make sure the disk we created earlier in Drive A and any other disk are removed from their floppy drives. After you press the Enter key, MemMaker reboots your computer, then determines the optimum configuration for it. If your computer automatically starts Windows or other shell programs, exit out of it to allow MemMaker to continue. Continue meaning MemMaker will modify your system files and reboot your computer again. As with the previous reboot, exit out of any shells. The final step in the MemMaker process is to accept its changes to your system or to undo them. If your computer rebooted without problems or error messages, your new configuration is ready. Press Enter to accept it. However, if your computer did experience problems booting up or error messages were displayed, choose No to undo MemMaker's changes. If you accepted MemMaker's changes, an information screen will appear showing memory usage before and after MemMaker's changes. Press Enter once again, and we are returned to the C prompt. MemMaker is finished, and so are we, Lisa, at least for this lesson.